if autism, like the actual diagnosis, rather than a diagnosis that people could, you know, actually, have a criteria that people would have to fill to be called autistic. What if we just said autism is just anyone who identifies as autistic? What would happen? Here's a genuine question. What would happen to our ability to talk about or learn about like autism as an actual thing?
What? I'm not encouraging people to just arbitrarily identify as intersex.
Right.
What is the
So
allegory we're establishing here?
So so you can admit it's very important for us to have a criteria for what is autistic.
What? The criteria is
in order to learn about autism,
wait,
we need a criteria for who is autistic.
The autism
right?
we're talking about is analogous to intersex. I'm not talking about self-identifying as intersex. Wait, not all categories. Not all categories are the same. Wait, do you think that because I believe that gender is a matter of self-identification, that I think all categories are a matter of self-identification? Like whether or not something is a Formula One car or a bicycle is up to self-identification?
Well, do you have any other example of words that work like that? Because you're saying that you're kind of alluding to the fact that all of these categories are arbitrary. So, like, what other words operate like gender does, where it can just be, defined by anyone who says that they are that?
A chair.
You think so?
Yeah. Can you define for me what a chair is using language that defines all chairs, encompasses all chairs, but also doesn't include things that are not chairs? That's what definitions are, of course. They specifically refer to a thing.
No, that's not what definitions are. Definitions do not. There's no rule that says a definition must include everything it is and exclude everything it isn't. Otherwise, we could Otherwise, we couldn't have lakes, ponds, puddles, and oceans.
Well.
You know what I mean? How do we have those things? There's no fine lines between.
Hold your horses, my friend. Don't
water.
Don't preempt my argument now. I agree. Okay. So go ahead. Define chair.
Okay, so you have to understand. You're asking me to...
Chair.
I'm going to tell you something. I will. You're asking me for something that does for a definition, something that does something that isn't actually a requirement for words to do. Words refer to concepts. The concept itself does not have to exclude everything that isn't. There's no rule. There's no force that says this.
In the conceptual ideal, a definition does refer. In the conceptual ideal, a definition does describe something distinctly enough that you can concretely describe how it differentiates itself from other things. So, after all,
I agree.
Right? Okay.
100%.
So wait, hold on.
What's the difference between a man and a woman in your language system?
Whether or not one identifies as one.
So there's no difference.
I just gave a difference.
Whatever one says the word. But there's no substantial difference. What is the substantial
difference?
Oh,
wait, there's no substantial... Oh, I agree. There's no substantial difference. There is a difference,
in your language system. So there's no... It's useless. You have a useless...
Well, hold on. I am a gender abolitionist. So, yes.
Okay, so, yeah, let's get back to that. You can explain what gender abolitionism...
Well, I want to hear what a chair is. Well, hold on. I want to hear what a chair is.
All right, a chair refers to the concept of a piece of furniture that is, typically got 4 legs and a backrest.
Oh, we're gonna be on this one for a while.
No, we don't need to be.
Oh no, we need to be. So I take issue with your definition. First of all, 4 legs is totally arbitrary. Chairs often have more than 2 legs so that they stand up, but apart from that, there is no reason at all. Huh?
Listen, the definition of a chair. It would be ridiculous to think that any definition has to fulfill the requirement.
Really?
Of excluding
so
everything.
You're saying it would be ridiculous
to
form. You're saying it would be ridiculous to construct a definition of something which is so comprehensive that it which is so comprehensive that it completely excludes any other people, or sorry, not people, any other things, which might not inherently, be a part of that definition, but nonetheless sort of semantically correlate. See, I side with the Wittgensteinian. I subscribe to the Wittgensteinian argument here, where a word merely refers to the idea people have of that word. It's simply an association game.
That's what I'm saying. The word refers to the concept. It's an association with the concept.
Oh, wait, okay. So you think that a definition of something only refers to not an intrinsic definitional quality, not a distinctive and exclusionary set of characteristics, but rather to the broad perceived social construct that people think of.
Yeah, what people think of. Exactly.
Oh,
right.
Well, you'll
So,
never guess
yeah.
what I think of when I think of woman.
Okay, use it in a sentence. Some women are gender nonconforming. What do you, like? It makes sense to me to say some human females are gender nonconforming. How does it make sense to you? What do you
Some
think of when
women
you
are
say
gender
the word woman?
non-conforming. They would just not conform
Yeah.
to the social expectations of being a woman. That can mean a
So
lot of
what
things,
was
but
the concept? What did I mean when I said some women are gender nonconforming?
you can mean a
In
lot
my
of stuff. But
system,
it makes perfect sense. In my system, it
To
makes
me,
perfect sense
because-
as well.
How?
A person is a woman,
Because, hold on.
but they sort of
Let me
participate
clarify.
in
your
non-womanly
system,
behavior.
Woman does not refer to human females.
Yeah.
So what? So substitute in your sentence. Say the sentence. I'm going to say the sentence. Some women. I'm going to substitute the word woman. I'm going to say human females instead, so you can understand what I'm saying. Some human females are gender nonconforming.
Okay.
Okay. Now you say the same sentence, but substitute human females for whatever thing you think that woman means, and I'll just listen.
A woman.
Some blank.
A woman
No,
can
no,
be
no.
gender
Don't use the word
nonconforming.
woman. Use the concept that the word woman refers to. Just like the Wittgensteinian, right? It's associating to a concept.
A person who identifies as a woman is gender nonconforming.
You use the word woman again. Please use use the concept, not the word woman, and fill in the blank. Some blank are gender nonconforming.
Why would I have to give an explanation for a thing without using the term the thing refers
Because you're
to?
trying to prove that trans women or women is coherent. You're admitting that it's not coherent.
Seems pretty coherent. You seem weirdly confused.
What am I supposed to conceive of?
People who identify as women.
These words? That's a circular argument. You understand what's happening here.
No, you see,
I'm asking you to make your argument, make your sentence mean something.
You're confusing.
And you're just saying these words.
You're confusing circular argument.
Vegan is anyone who's a vegan. Anyone who says they're vegan is vegan.
No, vegan is not a category which is defined by self-identification. Gender is.
It is. Yeah, it is. Anyone can identify as a vegan. Why not?
Anyone can identify as one, but the definition of vegan is not a person who identifies as a vegan.
So,
the definition of a person who is a vegan is a person who doesn't consume.
Definition of a vegan that excludes everything that's not vegan and includes everything that is vegan.
A person who does not use or consume animal products. I think that actually meets your specified requirements.
So if someone accidentally gets a little fish oil in the soup and they eat it, so they're not vegan anymore? Is that what you're going to say?
That would have been a non-vegan meal. If you're asking what the threshold is for no longer being a vegan, then actually, then you get into arbitrary. How much can you deviate? No real answer to this, by the way.
Hold on. So I agree. People can't actually be vegan. They can eat vegan. They can adhere to a vegan diet. That's much more accurate to say. People can adhere to a vegan diet, right? Because it's like the food itself can be vegan or not. It's much more easier. Like we're digesting bacteria. These are my personal ways of understanding what a vegan is. And guess what? A vegan has to exclude. Just the concept of veganism has to exclude certain types of food, right? It has to exclude. Every category has to exclude stuff. Otherwise, it's meaningless.
Actually, I take it back. I think that veganism does come down to self-identification.
Okay, so a vegan, what happens when a vegan is anyone who identifies as a vegan? What happens to our ability to talk about veganism or make sense of what vegan is?
Unaffected. Nobody watching the stream right now is confused about anything that I've said except for you.
Well, that's because we are... No. Like, actually think about it.
I'm thinking.
If you go to a restaurant, okay, I'm going to serve you some vegan food, and I'm just calling it vegan.
How many days does a Here, I'll ask you.
You think there's anyone in the audience who's going to be like, oh, sure, it's vegan. He said it's vegan.
I'll ask you, actually, Mr. Empiricism. Let me ask you. How many days must a person go without eating any animal products before you could call them a vegan? So currently, I'm eating right now. Wait, hold on.
I already
hold on. Hold. Hey.
I say the diet is
hold on. Right now, I'm eating carbonara right next to me. So for me, it's been about 120 seconds since I've consumed something with animal products in it. Okay. Cool. Am I a vegan right now? Currently, am I a vegan?
I clearly answered it. No one can be a vegan. I don't call people vegans. They can eat a vegan diet or not.
Interesting. So wait,
Yes.
hold on. So perhaps a person who is a vegan, and of course colloquially we do refer to
Eats a
people as
vegan
vegans.
diet.
Or no,
We do.
no,
True.
wait, hold on. Yes, people say this person's a vegan, this person's not a vegan. That is an undeniable
true.
social fact of the world. People do
I'm
say and do
agreeing.
that. Huh?
I'm agreeing.
Okay.
I am
So
agreeing.
perhaps whether or not a person is a vegan has a lot to do with whether or not they identify with an arbitrary, externally perceived social construct with its associated social roles and mores.
No, it is whether or not someone
What is a vegan
doesn't
diet?
eat meat.
What is a vegan diet?
A-
Wait, I haven't
a
eaten meat
diet
in
with
120 seconds.
Okay, so a diet. You can eat a vegan meal, right? You can eat a vegan meal.
When is a person
You're on a diet.
When is a person on a vegan diet? How many seconds do they have to be on that diet for them to say, I'm on a vegan
seems
diet?
like this is what I think of. When I think of someone who's on a diet, they're on a period of time of eating a certain type of food.
How
When
long?
someone says, I've been on a diet, well, they'll tell you most of the time, I've been on a diet. Like, that's actually the follow-up question. Hey, I'm a vegan. How long have you been vegan? They'll tell you how long. They've been following this
hold
diet.
on. In
That's
your
normally the general thing that happens.
in your world, nobody says I'm a vegan, you're a vegan, and nobody ever says I'm on a vegan diet. What people say is, I've been on a vegan diet for 822 minutes. Oh, well, I've been on a vegan diet for 2 days and 6 hours. Well, I've been on a vegan diet for 3 days, 8 hours, and 17 seconds. This is the world you live in?
No, like, no, that's not, like, how is it relevant? I don't understand what your argument is.
Here, let me say this.
If
A person
someone,
says, I'm a vegan. How do you determine if they're right or wrong?
well, I actually just understand that what they're saying is that they are on a vegan diet.
Okay,
And,
so
like,
they say
I don't
I'm on a
think
vegan
anyone
diet. How do you
is-
determine if they're right or wrong?
No one is a vegan. Their identity as a quote-unquote vegan cannot be established. That way I can't say, like,
This is
what is the
very
criteria for a
interesting, I
vegan?
have to say.
It should be. Okay, good. Like, what's interesting about it? Do you have any
Okay,
clarifying
so a
questions?
person comes up to you and says they're a man. How do you prove them wrong?
Okay, so I have to, if I want to understand what they're saying, right?
I notice your system is very confusing, by the way. It involves a lot of weird question asking. In my system, if a person says, I'm a man, like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Okay.
No confusion here.
Okay. Okay. So someone with big, huge titties comes up to you, lipstick, long hair,
Okay.
says, I'm a man. I'm going to be like, okay. I'm going to think either this person is a trans woman, or I'm going to be like, well, what do they mean by man? First, I'm going to be like, what do they mean?
What do you mean by man?
Well, this is how languages work. I have to understand what they mean, and I have to understand, like, we both kind of have to have an agreement. You know what I mean?
Isn't it interesting that your fault with my position is that it's too confusing? I getting out my abacus when people have casual conversation with me.
Confused with what I'm saying? I don't think anyone's confused with what I'm saying.
I will admit I have been baffled for a while, but I'm making a good effort. Okay, so because the issue, we can do this forever. The issue that I'm getting at here is that it seems like when people say I am a thing, and you really get down to the nitty gritty of it, it's always really fucking arbitrary, like every time. So
it isn't.
Well,
if someone says I'm a Christian,
hold on. Wait, hold on.
Okay, they believe in Jesus or something.
So wait,
right?
hold on. They say, okay, so if a person says, I am a Christian, how do you prove them wrong?
Well, you can't prove that what someone believes and what they don't believe, right?
Okay.
But
if a person says, I am a gamer, how do you prove them wrong?
Right. Let me just make it clear.
How do you prove them wrong? They're a gamer. How do you know if they're wrong?
The point isn't to prove someone wrong. The
Really?
point is to say, just listen to what I'm saying, please. If someone says, I'm a gamer, then I can assume, rightfully, I can assume that they play games. They like to play video games, right?
Can you?
I don't know. I'm asking you, is that the information they're trying to convey?
I don't know. It seems kind of like a self-identification thing, to be honest with you.
Hold on. Like, I'm trying to make this really simple. If someone says a gamer, I'm going to assume that they play games, right? I'm not just going to assume that they're just someone who says that uses the word gamer.
So
and they don't play video games.
What if they don't play games?
Then I don't know what they're talking about. If they say I'm a gamer, and then I say, oh, what games do you play? And they say, you know, and they don't list any games, then I'll be like, that's weird. Like,
what's weird about that?
Games because they aren't a gamer. Like, think about it.
Wait, wait, you just did circular. How are they not a gamer?
What?
You just said, well, that's weird because they said they're a gamer, but they're not a gamer. How are they not a gamer?
If they don't know anything about games, if they don't know what a gamer is, I could say I'm a gamer right now.
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, let's just use your example, right? I'm a gamer. Ask me something about gaming. Like, are you just going to believe me that I'm a gamer?
Yeah.
Okay. I am a Muslim. Like, you're just going to believe me what I'm saying. And then I'm going to be teaching you about Muslim stuff.
Didn't you just say you can't know what's going on in a person's head? Didn't you just say that?
Yeah, that's not the point, though. Like, whether or not, like, material reality isn't a belief. You know what I'm saying? It's not like what's going on in someone's head. We're trying to just...
What material reality are we referring to here?
We're talking about human males and human females. Like,
so you're using circular logic again.
No, I'm not.
What are you talking about, like physical biology? Like what a womb is or whatever?
No, I'm talking about, like, so there's, in the world, if you go outside and you look in the world, okay, you'll see so many animals. You'll see plants. You'll see like life, right? You'll see life.
Yeah, they have different sexes. What does that have to do with what we're talking about?
And you'll see examples throughout all the species of males and females, and you'll see that all of the babies come out of the females of the species, and including humans. We have a female, like, mode.
Yeah,
like,
you're referring.
Right?
So first of all, that's not correct.
And the males.
Well, wait. First of all, this isn't correct. There are animal species where the opposite is true. So be careful with your language there. Right. Second of all, you're talking about sex.
I'm trying to give a general thing.
Who's talking about sex? Oh, in a general sense, like there are exceptions, huh? Well, who's talking about sex here?
I'm trying to just give a general thing, right? So when we look out in the world, we see that there are male and female, like we observe things. We're using words to categorize things so we can understand the world, right?
Oh, I'm trying to do that at least.
Right. So we see, okay, babies come from this particular type of human. We're going to give it a name so we can talk about it.
Yeah, people with wombs.
What's the name? People with wombs.
Yeah.
Okay. Like
that is the most correct thing you could ever say. So keep in mind,
so,
any other... Wait, hold on.
People,
any
right?
other...
Like
well, hold on. Wait. Shh. Wait, hold on. Stop.
Like that? Would that be good?
If you keep doing this, I'm going to have to mute you, okay? Like, Jesus. I don't know if it's because you're on your phone, you can't hear me when I talk, but my God. Any definition other than person with a womb can only ever be less correct than the definition I'm giving. You are the one right now asking for loaded terminology that is less specific because it suits your political desires. I am the one giving... The definition that I am giving is the one that is in line with every single objective, empirical, and scientific analysis of the situation. You are the one insisting on narrativizing it for political purposes. So keep that in mind. You are being the SJW here.
You want to say people with a womb. People with a womb, okay? What happens when a person with a womb gets a hysterectomy? What do we call them then?
They don't have a... Whatever... They could call it their name? What do you mean?
So they cease becoming people with wombs.
They can no longer give birth because they don't have a womb. We can no longer
have a womb for them? What's the word for
what?
That?
Wait, you can call them whatever. What if you want to refer to people who can give birth? Then you say people. Wait, stop. Okay. If you want to refer to people who can give birth, you say people with wombs. And if they no longer have a womb, they can't give birth anymore. So you have to find another thing to call them. You can call them by their name. If they're a man, you can call them a man. If they're a woman, you can call them a woman. I don't know. I don't care.
I'm talking about as a group.
What group of people who have had hysterectomies? What does that mean?
So I think it's an alarming stat. It's actually alarming. I just came across it. 50% of women over 60 have had a hysterectomy. What do we call that group of people?
Is that... Well, you just said women, so they're women.
Yes, because women refers to human females. I just use it to refer to human females. The way I used it to refer to human females.
So you're again using inaccurate... Wait, hold on. So you're again using inaccurate language for politically narrativizing points. both
No,
science.
I'm
Wait,
trying
hold
to
on.
make sense.
The medical, psychological, and political institutions of the country that I live in all recognize that a person can have a womb and get a hysterectomy and be a man. You are the one using confusing language. Wait, you realize that this whole thing is you
Medical
accusing.
communities cannot
Hold
say what a
on.
word means.
Hold
They
on.
don't decide what words mean.
Nobody decides. They've
So
decided.
why did you just bring that up? What did you just bring?
Because we
just said
choose
that
what
they
words
decided what words-
we choose what words and their definitions mean based on the utility it brings us. And all relevant institutions in this case have decided that these words serve more utility when we include trans people. So you are the one using more confusing language. You're using you are using medically and legally inaccurate language. You want to teach this to kids? What are you, a psycho?
Meat-eating vegans.
Well,
you know,
wait,
pork-
hold on.
pork-eating
Haven't
Muslims.
wait,
We're all
haven't
vegans.
haven't
We're
most
all vegans.
wait,
Veganism
haven't
is
haven't
vegan. Anyone
haven't
who
most
says they're vegan is
vegans?
a vegan.
You just said vegans. You were
right.
you were bullshitting earlier where you were like, "Well, I never
No.
say vegans. I only say
I didn't
people
say I
who have
never said
adhered
that.
to a vegan diet for
No,
X length of
no, no,
time."
no, no.
But you're lying, of
didn't
course. You
say
say
that.
vegans in a broader sense. Now, anyway,
I do. I said a vegan